What's up everybody, and aloha, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Steven. Today we'll be taking a detailed look at the Air Jordan 1 Low 85 Metallic Navy. First things first, let's take a look at the box. So this is actually different compared to your traditional Jordan 1 box. Normally we see a black box with the red Nike branding all around. Instead we have a white box which is done in matte finish, and the Nike branding is also in red still. But what's different about this is it's done in a glossy finish. And another unique feature to the Nike branding is it is actually embossed all around. I don't know if you guys can see it here. So depending on the angle we look at it, it does have like a 3D finish to it. And another different thing is this is actually smaller in size compared to the traditional Jordan 1 box, a bit more narrow. And the official colorway of the sneakers are white, navy white. A bit of history with the Air Jordan 1 Lows. They originally released in 1985 in two colorways. One was the neutral gray, and one was these metallic navies or metallic blue. Honestly, I'm not too sure what these are actually dubbed as. Social media calls it metallic navy, but for some reason StockX or in Gold says it's metallic blue. So whatever you want to call it. Personally, I'd just rather call it metallic navy just because this is more of a navy, even though it's kind of a shade of blue, but navy just kind of fits the narrative better. As the name Jordan 1 Low 85 implies, this is actually constructed to have the same look and feel of the Jordan 1 from 1985. So there will be differences between these and the Jordan 1 Low OG that we get nowadays, but more of that later. Now diving right into details of the sneakers, starting with the toe box with this white leather toe box. And as a Jordan 1 design, we have perforations. Surrounding the edges of the toe box, we have this white leather mud guard. And then on the side, we have this side overlay, which goes over the mud guard and the eye stays. So with the eye stays and this side overlay done in this white leather. And right below that, for the mid panel, we see more of that white leather. And stitched right on top of that, for the Nike swoosh, we have the synthetic leather, done in metallic navy. Wrapping around the heel of the sneaker, we see more of that white leather. And over the top of that, we have the synthetic leather again in metallic navy. And printed on top of that with the Jordan 1's logo done in white. Moving on towards the tongue, we have this white canvas tongue. And if you take a look at the top, we have this tongue tag done in white with the Nike branding in navy. Now to finish off the tongue, we're going to come with one pair of laces, and it is these flat style laces done in white. But if you want to, you can always swap them out for some navy laces. There are a lot of companies nowadays that make laces for Jordan 1s or just Jordans in general. For example, Thickest laces, you can grab some navy laces from there. That's where I actually got some navy laces for my Jordan 1 High Cole.jp. They already come with navy laces, but they were in an oval style. I just prefer these flat style laces. So if you want, check out Thickest laces, or there's a lot of other companies out there. Take a look at the inside of the sneaker. We have this nicely padded sock liner made out of mesh, done in navy. And printed on the middle side, we have the size of the sneaker, the style code, as well as the width of the sneaker. And this is actually an awesome detail because this was actually something they did for Jordans back in 1985. Now further into the sneaker, we see the torsion system. So these are actually board lasted, which was the torsion system that we had back then compared to how nowadays we have shine plates. Now if you look at the insole, with this white polyurethane insole with the white fabric lining on top and stamped on the heel with the Nike Air branding in navy. And something about the insole is this is actually a little bit thinner compared to the insoles that were found in the Jordan 1 Low 85 neutral gray. I do have a pair of those, and when I did compare them, it was just a little bit thinner. But no big deal, at least they're polyurethane, so these are more comfortable compared to the foam insoles. The whole upper of the sneaker sits on top of this white rubber cup sole, and within the cup sole we have Nike Air technology. Flipping it towards the bottom of the sneaker, we have this rubber outsole done in navy with a circular pivot point in the forefoot and Nike branding in the middle. As I said earlier, because these are 1985 cut, there will be differences between these and the Jordan 1 Low OG. For example, with the perforation design, as you guys can see here, the design on it are different on each shoe. And with the 85 cut, this is actually supposed to mimic the toe box shape of the original 1985 model. Hard to see with this just because I did use them and it is creased up, but yeah, kind of hard to see, but this is supposed to be as close to the 85 model. And for this overlay on the side here, this is actually a bit thinner in comparison to the Jordan 1 Low OG. Now for the eye stays, with this 85 cut, we actually have 8 lace holes as opposed to 7, and the 8 lace holes was the original design. And for the midsole, it is a bit more curved here around the mid panel area, and it is actually a bit rough in texture compared to the OGs that we have. And with the outsole, there is a bit of difference in the design, a little bit. As you can see in the video here. I will have pictures to show the comparison, but the texture is a bit different, and with the 85 cut, it is actually a bit more narrow here. Another difference is the ankle area. We have a bit more padding around the ankle area as opposed to the OG version. So because there's more padding, this will actually affect the sizing of the sneaker, but more on that in a bit. Now as for the tongue, like I did mention, this is a canvas tongue, but with the OG models that we get nowadays, it is made out of a nylon tongue. I'm not too sure why these are canvas. Maybe it was a Rosa design, I'm not too sure. Now as far as sizing goes, this is where it gets a bit tricky. Well, at least for me it did. So I normally go true to size for my Jordan 1 Low OGs, which is an 8.5. I do have wide feet, but I still go true to size for my Jordan 1 Low OGs. But with the neutral gray 85s that I purchased previously, it was actually tight going true to size. I wasn't prepared for the extra padding in the ankle area right here. And the area around here, the toe box and the vamp area, was actually a bit tighter. So with these, I went a half size up to a size 9, and these do fit me much better. So for wide footers, I do recommend going a half size up. But if you don't have wide feet, I recommend just staying true to size. I know some people go true to size or a half size down, but with the extra padding, I do recommend just staying true to size for non-wide footers. And for wide footers, go a half size up. In terms of quality, I think these were actually pretty good. A nice step above compared to the Jordan 1 Low OG. Nice thick cut of leather, and I do like how you can see the natural grain of the leather as well. And I do appreciate how the polyurethane coating around sneaker isn't as thick compared to the Jordan 1 Low OG. But for $160 retail, and this being an 85 cut, you would think the colorway would be a lot better. This is nothing amazing, nothing too great. Not as soft as I thought it would be compared to the taxis, for example. Like the quality of that was actually really good. It's not even 85, but for these, for that price of $160, it could have been a lot better. Now comparing this to the neutral gray 85s, I actually wasn't a fan of this off-white age look. But will I still keep these? Maybe. It is still a nice looking sneaker, but I do like the white on these a lot more. Kind of gives like a nice classy look to it. And the navy just kind of gives a nice touch of color. In my opinion, I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on these, which is crazy because I thought these being 85 cut would be a lot more popular. But I guess nowadays the market for Jordan 1s isn't as high. Maybe a couple years ago this would have been a lot better. Speaking of which, these are way below retail on GOAT and StockX. Last I checked on GOAT, these were $130 in my size, and on StockX it was $125. But it is what it is. I still like it regardless. I do like the clean look like I said before. And this reminds me of the Stan Smith that I have. Same colorway as well, to white navy. I do like wearing these if I want to give myself a little bit of an elevated look when I go to like family parties, for example, or out to a nice dinner. And like I said, nice alternative. Clean looking shoe. From what I've been seeing on social media, I feel like people are talking a lot about lows not having the correct swoosh size. For example, back in 2015, we had the Chicago lows, which had a gigantic swoosh. And actually, the last time we seen these metallic navy lows was 2016, which had the same gigantic swoosh that was on the Chicago lows in 2015. And it's crazy, people are saying that that should be the swoosh size. That's like the original. But if you look at pictures of this from 1985, the original model and spec from 1985.
I repeat things for emphasis. Emphasis!
The swoosh size is this same size here. So this perfectly replicates the swoosh size from back in 1985. So I don't know why people are making a big deal like, oh, that's not correct, it should be this. You know, this is the way it was originally. Now with that out of the way, let's throw these on and show what they look like on feet. Alright everyone, this wraps up the review. Thank you all for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the sneakers and did you cop them. And if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. If you guys haven't, hit subscribe. It'll help me grow my channel. And also don't forget to turn on notification alert so you don't miss another video. I'll see you guys next time. Shoots and aloha.